There are way too many boys trying to identify as a man because they want that blue ribbon trophy pinned on them without earning the title of a man. You're not a Minuteman, you're a Minute boy. You have to study the roots of the country. What made a man in the context of 1775? It's different nowadays. We need to get serious. It's true that America was born on guns and whiskey. Mr. Jones explained that to that British guy on that TV show on CNN a couple years ago. Remember that part? Piers Morgan, I think, right? It's true. America was born on guns and whiskey. But I'll tell you one thing. It was not conceived on guns and whiskey. This is why I asked the question in that recent post. We're discussing this all the time on Patreon, working on this. What is the root of the word Minuteman? Because without a man, you do not have a Minuteman. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of dudes, in fact, a vast majority in this country who would strongly identify themselves as a man are actually, what do you want to call it, appropriating the identity? You know why the people that are woke are so damn confused about what flavor they are, what gender, or whatever it is? You know why there's so much dysphoria on that issue? Because the definitions of these words have been lost. They do not exist. We have not clearly defined these terms because we don't live these things anymore. That's the truth. Whether you like it or not, the truth is the truth. There wouldn't be confusion. I mean, you talk about several decades of confusion. When I was little, He-Man was the definition of a man. Right? Remember that? What makes a man? Is it the power in his hands? Is it his quest for glory? Give it all you got to fight to the top so they can know your story. Now you're a man. Ooh, man, right? WWF wrestling, oh, those are men, you know, because it's about shiny muscles. Arnold Schwarzenegger, that guy's a man, right? Let alone today where you're going into the litter box with cat ears and pajamas on. I don't even know what to say about that. And it's funny, and we like to peacock, but in all honesty, until you define what a man is, you can't claim it. Okay, so let's define the terminology. What is a man? An adult male? Yep, biologically. Okay, define adult. Define adult. Type your comments below at the end of the video. If you start typing now, while we're still having the discussion, you are not exhibiting adult traits. Okay, wait until the end, but what's an adult, guys? Let's visit about a little bit. Man was made in the image of God. If you are not striving, and I have to be extremely clear in this video, because a lot of people requested it in the last one, like, Rex, people need to hear the clear deal. You've been hinting at it, and hinting at it, and hinting at it, but you need to just say it. Well, here's the deal. There's a reason for the hinting. If people do not learn to start thinking and what they call conduct introspection, if you do not conduct introspection regularly, at least once a year, you know, for 10 days a year, I try to make it a point to conduct extreme introspection. What are my malfunctions? Why? Because I'm striving to live up to my obligation to be in the image, at least, of God, because that's how we were created to be. A man was created in the image of God. We need to strive to do that. You cannot accomplish it without introspection. If all you want to do is collect your blue ribbon every single day automatically because I watched He-Man and I have an American flag and I have a giant Dodge pickup and I'm a real hard worker, Rex. I was an army guy. Look at me, I'm so tough. You want a blue ribbon just for saying all this stuff? Like, introspection means we need to look in the mirror and examine weak points and identify areas of improvement. We need to clearly identify so that our children can know what men are. A man is an adult male who is striving to live up to the image of God. What does that mean? It means that we're okay with being corrected. We're okay with the idea of tearing, these guys who work out all the time, and I used to do that too. I used to be an athlete, right? Almost like, right? And you push the weights and you got to be tough and all this, right? The old muscles tear down and the new ones can be built up, right? You guys know how that works. You need to do that in life. If you're not pushing it to failure, and then admitting that, and then consuming the bread of life and the steak and the meat to where you can have the nutrients to build you up again, then you're not growing and you're not yet in the image that you were meant to be. America was born on guns and whiskey, but it was conceived in an entirely different context. It was conceived in love. And it took it was a miracle. The miracle of the United States was the love that man had for his creator, wanting to be governed only under the rules of his creator, wanting to separate the authority of man from the authority of God. So they built a country specifically designed to limit the powers of man-made government systems so we could submit ourselves to greater powers in the heavens, vertically above us, to submit ourselves to greater powers so that we could live as men under God. If you do not have that part, you are not a man. And that's not my opinion. Look at the fruit. You need a clearly defined and established example. What does a man do that is living up to his image? Protecting and providing for his, just as our Father protects and provides for us when we choose to be his. And you guys can henpeck each other all you want on the dogmas and the theology of exactly how that works. But even in that point, what are you doing? You are scrambling, just like in the DVDA song I was just quoting from, or whatever the hell that was. What makes a man is it his quest for glory. Give it all you got to strive to the top so they can know your story. That's not a man. As someone who is extremely insecure will scramble to get on top of the other guy, to scramble for the rungs of the ladder. We've been talking about that over on Patreon forever, and guys are like, well, Rex, I don't understand the Z-axis you hinted at earlier, like there's the left and the right paradigm and the authoritarians versus the libertarians. What's the Z-axis? I never saw that. The entire channel over on Patreon, and most of it here on YouTube, has been squarely, perfectly aligned with that axis I'm talking about. The vertical axis, the third dimension. It's not just left and right and this way. There's another axis to it. I'll define what that is in more clear terms for you that maybe never caught this before, never had it explained like this. If you're on ground level, fighting with other men over the left versus the right, Republicans versus Democrats, authoritarians versus libertarians, it's all self-centered, self-actualization garbage. Lucifer's malfunction, self-actualization. I'm God. I'm going to use this system to become God. Oh, no, we're going to use this system to become God. Oh, no, we need liberty so that we can be God. Hey, a little history. Statue of Liberty, who gave it to us and about what was the time frame? France. How is France's revolution different than ours? Ours put us squarely under the authority of the Almighty, because it was said multiple times, I've read this multiple times for everybody here, is like, without a God-fearing religious population, the constitutional republic is not adequate. Remember that? Paraphrasing that. The constitutional republic frees us from man's law so that we can be governed under God's law. If you are not under God's law, you have frickin' total anarchy. And that's what the French Revolution had, where it was absolute liberty. They worshipped the God of liberty. There's a concept of liberty from man, which is different than the pure Luciferian form of liberty, which is absolute, like total, like I make my own laws. I'm God. Humanism. You understand what I'm saying? America was born on guns and whiskey. That's what led it into the world. That's what paved the way, cleared the path, tore the flush. But it was conceived in love by much greater supernatural powers. And it was nurtured for more than 9 months, wasn't it, guys? It was nurtured for more than 9 months. And it grew. And if little boys do not understand our history enough to realize that it's not just about pointing objects and running around and learning martial arts, to be completely 100% clear, little boys do not understand that. They want to run around like He-Man, playing He-Man, identifying, just like the SJW woke people define male. Someone who identifies as a male. Yeah, guess what? 90% of you guys identify as males, and you ain't freaking male. Or you're like, biologically, you're not a man. You identify as a man, but you ain't a man. If you do not submit yourselves to the ultimate authority under God, you're not a man. Because you're not living up to his image. You're living up to your own image, which is gay as hell, in my humble opinion. For more of that, if this video doesn't just burn in half and light the freaking conveyor belts in the computer factory on fire. What did Rex just say? The computer's just smoke coming out of. Where's the computer at that all this is connected to? It was the Ethernet, Rex, like on Terminator 3. So many people identifying as a man, wearing the colors, treating it like a jersey, demoting it to the same status as their favorite sports team, posing as men, but not doing what men do. You don't just get to identify as something, you have to do it. You have to provide, which means you have to be independently resilient enough to provide for you and yours. If you're not providing for your own self and your own family, you are not a man. And protecting. That's where I teach the two-way stuff, man. So you can protect yours. But if all you want to do is protect something and you ain't got nothing to protect, or if you're protecting your own ego and pride, that's the common denominator that ties all earthly systems of governance together. Pride and ego and self-centered self-actualization bullshit. We can do it, people. No, you can't. You've proven over millennia that you can't do it effectively. Continuously in bondage, continuously leading yourselves into new ditches to fall into, light yourselves on fire, trip over the rake, the whole 9 yards. We have to submit ourselves to God. The founding fathers knew that's how it works. That's why America established so much momentum, is because we were acting in the image of God. When we cease to live up to that definition of man, the country started falling apart. You cannot be, in my opinion, a humanist or an agnostic or an atheist and fully live up to your classic definition of man as envisioned by the founding fathers. That was their well of fortitude. God. Yep. Don't like it? That doesn't change the reality. That's historical, actual fact. Well, some of them, Rex, they're like, no, they're just theists. Like, yeah, but they understood there was a creator, right? Maybe they separated from the way the church defined that for the same reasons I choose to separate myself from most of church's definitions of things. I'm not talking about joining a religion or being in a church. I'm talking about the creator of the universe, the actual creator of the universe, centering yourself and submitting yourself to that. Why would I want to be a part of the, like, here's the deal. If you want to learn to fly the fighter jet, you have to follow the instructions, or you will not get the plane off the ground. Here's where the start button is. Well, I don't think that's where I want the start button to be. Doesn't matter where we think it should be. The fighter jet was specifically designed. There are specific instructions that you have to follow. If you do not follow the instructions by the manufacturer, the damn plane will not start. Well, I think we should turn up the landing gear before we take off, Rex. Okay, man. Whatever, just keep arguing. Freaking adolescents. Slaves to their own ego. Slaves to themselves. Ridiculous. Children digging through the engine compartment of their father's car. I'm going to improve the engine. No, follow the instructions. It was designed not by you. If you were wise, you would submit yourself to reality. The reality is we were created. We need to follow the instructions. What are the instructions, Rex? What he said to do. You have to do what he said to do. You have to try. You have to, well, that's not how we get saved. More selfish thought. Yeah, I like being saved. I was saved. But if that's your center of gravity, then you're thinking on how you can get shit for yourself. Where's the evidence of that, Mr. Religious Guy? I'm saved, Rex. How dare you say that we need to talk about obeying God now? You ever hear of the difference between justification and sanctification? Live it. Live like you really have had that happen to you. It means you love him and you submit yourself to him. It shows wisdom to have respect for your elders. Is not the Father our elder? Likewise with other elders he's put here to assist us. I submit myself to earthly elders when they are in alignment with what he said to do. When they have a better viewpoint with age and experience, as far as I can discern, to navigate the terrain. Okay, we see that repeatedly throughout the instructions of that happening. Why are we so allergic to the idea of learning things from each other? Why? I'll tell you why. Pride and ego. Lucifer's freaking malfunction that he passed on in the Garden of Eden. We've all adapted that. Now we're all like, oh, I'm God. I'm in charge of this deal. No, you ain't. You are going to... America's going to fall straight on its face, be burned to the ground by the kings of the earth, along with the rest of Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Because of that shit. 100% happening. This thing's going down. Titanic's going down. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. Do not suffer of the plagues that she's going to get dished out on her. Hey guys, if you're bored, look at the channel description for the T-Borosaurus Rex channel. Back when I started the channel, that's been my channel description, quoting the book. The whole time. This is a gun channel, Rex. Apparently you don't know how to freaking read, huh? Read the channel description. That's been on there the whole time, since way before I did any pointy object videos. Rex, we need more pointy object videos. What, do you want me to just hand out pointy objects to children? I'm not handing out pointy objects to children anymore. That's why I have these talks here, to filter out all the dipshits that think they're not children and just want to run around reenacting shit all the time. I'm not doing it anymore. That's why I guard certain things. The Real Dope series is on Patreon. Rex, this is an infomercial. It's a commercial. Yeah, I'm a capitalist. I'm not a communist. You want Rex to work for free? Plus, here's the other thing about it. Think about this. Filters. Filters. If I want to filter out entitled people who think they deserve everything in life for free, which is one of our next videos on the communist rules for revolution, they corrupt the youth and get them to focus on frivolous shit so that they can become dependent on their own ego and pride shit, right? So they can have their own little, they can serve themselves, right? They think they're entitled to everything. The government will provide it. Someone else will do it for me. I don't need to do shit. If I'm trying to filter that out, it's the best way to do it. Hey guys, can you find your wallet? If not, I don't want to talk to you. That's all it is. And I still put stuff here on YouTube because I love you guys too. Took me a hell of a long time to figure that out, but I'm just saying, like, you need to have filters in your life too. Actual verifiable deals. Fact of the matter, right? People can say how they're not entitled all day, but you actually have to verify that shit, right? You have to verify it. And then what's the other filters? Buy in. If they have not bought in real life, which the only possible way I can confirm anyone has buy-in to the message of what we're trying to do. The only confirmable way, as a scientist, for people to have buy-in. And if that is anathema to you, if that just bends you the wrong way, you are a communist. By definition, entitled communist. I deserve everything for free. I don't... I've had epic rants on that before. You can find those over there as well. But if you don't, I mean, you guys can do whatever you want. I'm just here to share with you guys a glimpse of the gold, which is not me. It's not my shit. That's not my channel. The gold is the truth, the message. I'm showing you a little glint of it. We have to submit ourselves to the Creator. You have to find a way to do that. That's what America is founded on. That's what a true man is. Someone, here's the final definition that I would propose. And then you guys share below, to close this, share below what you think your definition of a man is. A man is an adult male species made in the image of God who continuously strives to meet that image. How is that done? Bullet point list. 2 great commandments. 10 commandments. 613 commandments. There's just sub-bullet points of everything. I'm saying, like, we need to follow the instructions and submit ourselves to them. Right? That's what people who are being sanctified will be drawn to. Trying to please their Father in heaven. And the rest of this shit does not matter. Pointing objects. What kind of karate chop should I use, Rex? You didn't remember, you don't remember the, like, if you do not remember the Bushido, the way of the warrior, then you should not know how to do karate chop moves on people. We don't need more assholes running around with pointing objects, do we? If you think we do, well, then we're on a different page there. Hopefully this was entertaining for you guys. Thank the patrons. If you're watching here on YouTube, thank the patrons for helping get this deal. I mean, like, this would not happen without them. I would have to, because guess what? I'm a man, and I have to protect and provide my family, and I sure as hell can't do that if I'm being a communist and catering to entitlement, right? So thank you to the patrons for allowing this operation to go. Otherwise, I'm going to go shovel some shit, whatever it takes to provide for my own. I'll do whatever it takes, man. And if it's not afforded here, apparently this is the thing that's supposed to be going now, but it's not going to probably be forever, right? I will serve in whatever capacity I was meant to serve, as long as I'm living up to what my definition of a man is, striving to be in his image, right? As much as possible, functionally, not in appearance or scruffy hair or crude, like naughty words, but in reality of providing and protecting for my own, and also showing people where the well of fortitude is and where that connection to the real electricity is, the thin blue line that extends to infinity so that we can take care of ours.